This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by the good folks over at ease.com, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Take advantage of a 2-day deal on Select Plus gummies, which knocks 20% off the cost when you use the discount code PLUS, spelled exactly like it sounds, PLUS. That discount code will knock 20% off the cost of orders over $40 of 3 different kind of Plus gummies: blackberry and lemon, pineapple and coconut CBD, and sour watermelon. You just need to make sure you place your order during legal delivery hours and that you live in a part of California where Ease is active. You can find out for yourself if you do by opening up ease.com, spelled E-A-Z-E. And don't forget, ease.com is also a bountiful source for all kinds of valuable and insightful bits of industry wisdom, knowledge, information, and data, all crafted using great writing, smart polling, and Ease's properly aggregated and anonymized sales data stream. You can order legal cannabis products for delivery at ease.com and increase your understanding of the legal marijuana market at ease.com/home. Thanks to everyone at Ease for supporting today's news. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Monday, October 8th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 586 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. We kick off this week's news with a big fundraising story out of Illinois, as Chicago-based Cresco Labs closed on a $100 million round of investment, which drew a number of participants from the traditional world of institutional investment. The Series D round was run through Canada and saw a number of Canadian, American, and European institutional investors take part. This $100 million round follows the $85 million in investment Cresco has raised to date, putting the company in a pretty good place, at least when looking at the numbers alone, to expand out their current 6-state operational footprint. The company is currently working on a reverse takeover into the Canadian public markets, which will give it even more access to capital. Not a bad story to read in full. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. The Telegraph is reporting that the United Kingdom is just weeks away from allowing people to use medical marijuana. We've been tracking this storyline for a while now, as swift changes in the UK have come about in recent months thanks to a lot of good activism work and a few particularly catalyzing stories about young medical marijuana patients being denied the use of the medical cannabis that treats their ailments. According to the Telegraph, the UK Home Office will soon announce the rescheduling of medical marijuana, freeing up people living with chronic pain, severe epilepsy, or chemotherapy-related nausea to become registered patients. That relatively limited qualifying condition list will nonetheless positively affect millions of people, with one estimate of the total number of people living with chronic pain in the UK running as high as 28 million. Another good storyline to follow and to keep on top of. Our final top story today swings us out to Washington State, where an independent report commissioned by state officials found that Washington State cannabis regulators rushed the process by which its seed-to-sale tracking system, installed and maintained by MJ Freeway, was deployed. The analysis was run by Gartner Consulting, a research and advisory consulting firm based out of Connecticut, and found that the rushed push to launch resulted in a system that was buggy, unstable, and prone to crashing. The report ended with a 10-step process by which the Washington State Liquor Control Board could solve the issue. One of those recommendations was to hire someone with experience integrating software systems to oversee the installation process. Swing over to Marijuana Business Daily for all the rest. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz out on headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, ease.com, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Ease.com is the website to turn to if you live in the Golden State and like it when you get exactly what you pay for when you shop for legal cannabis products. Everything that flows through Ease.com is properly tested, packaged, and labeled because that's just the way that Ease rolls. Ease only works with the top dispensaries in their active areas, so you know you're in for a great customer experience. Find out for yourself just how easy California legal marijuana delivery can be by opening up Ease.com, spelled E-A-Z-E. You can get an order going in just minutes that you'll take delivery of in under an hour. What's not to love about that? One more time, just open up ease.com. All right, time for the blitz. Ohio State's first batch of medical marijuana has been harvested, but it will still be a while yet longer until Ohio medical marijuana patients can actually purchase any kind of product. That's because the state's 5 licensed testing labs are not yet up and running, nor are any of the 56 licensed dispensaries. There's also the little problem of there being no registered patients yet, but at least the first batch of cannabis has been harvested. Another good story that I'd probably read in full today, especially if you're at all involved in Ohio's market. With another headline about a slow rollout of medical marijuana, we jump down to Florida, where on Friday, Leon County Circuit Judge Charles Dotson sided with a Tampa-based medical marijuana company seeking license that sued the state for failing to properly implement the 2016 medical marijuana ballot measure that passed with overwhelming support by Florida voters. The administration of Republican Rick Scott, never to let a little thing like the rule of law get in its way, was found by Judge Dotson to have ignored an earlier court order from August and was newly ordered to start issuing marijuana business licenses. This is a bit of a complicated storyline, so maybe not a bad one to add to your to-read list today. The Canadian province of British Columbia just released the rules and regulations for where marijuana and marijuana products can and cannot be used following the October 17th switchover to legalized adult use. The rules closely follow those regulating the use of tobacco, with fines set at $230 for smoking marijuana where you shouldn't, and just $58 for those caught vaporizing. One notable point is that medical marijuana products will be legal for use in schools, as well as in certain designated indoor areas, including hotels that choose to allow it, hospitals, and retirement homes. A Pennsylvania woman is fighting to receive a government-funded housing subsidy she was denied because she's a state-registered medical marijuana patient. The fact that someone was denied housing because of medical marijuana use is a bad enough injustice as it is, but in Mary Cease's case, it's made all the more so by the fact that Miss Cease has removed herself from an abusive relationship in trying to get her own housing situation set. Miss Cease is also a military veteran and says she used medical cannabis to wean herself off of opioids. She and her lawyer will file an appeal of her subsidy denial sometime this week. There are a lot of good reasons why the federal prohibition of cannabis needs to end. This is one of the bigger ones. Chris Moore, writing over at Mary Jane, looks at the efforts underway in California by law enforcement officials to remove illegally grown marijuana. On Thursday, California State Attorney General Xavier Becerra held a press conference and announced that more than 600,000 illegally grown marijuana plants have been pulled up so far by law enforcement since the start of the year. The state's CAMP Task Force, short for Campaign Against Marijuana Plants, has shut down a total of 254 illicit cultivation sites so far, making 52 arrests in the process. One of the 5 companies licensed to grow medical marijuana in Arkansas says it will be ready to start up cultivation operations at the beginning of next year. A spokesperson for licensed cultivator Natural State Wellness Enterprises says their cultivation facility will be open by February. And finally for today, we end the show in Canada, where Ontario Medical Association Dr. Nadia Alam has apologized for earlier comments that she made on a CBC radio show, saying that marijuana was a gateway drug. Apparently, Dr. Alam heard an earful of corrections from her colleagues following the show, which moved her to tweet out a correction and apology over the weekend. Classy bit of re-evaluation there. Nicely done. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Ease, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in and starting your day with marijuana today.
One take, Shay. One take.